After we had tackled about the histories of different countries across the vast continent of Asia and the culture unique to them, now we are ready to virtually tour to another region here in Asia, which is Southeast Asia, which for me I would consider the land of many possibilities. Before we are going to our main topic, I would like to first greet everyone a happy, refreshing, and wonderful day. Once again, maganda at makasaysayang araw na naman ang ating gugugulin ngayon. In the previous discussion, we dived deep into other regions of Asia, but today, as you can see on the photo of the slide, a globe focusing on a specific region, which is the Southeast Asia. Thus, I am going to share with you the tales, legends, and histories worthy to be told of the Unit 4 of our course Asian Studies entitled Southeast Asia, Pacific Neighbors, and Asia in the World Affairs. By the way, I am Kenneth J. Ikin, a second-year student of Philippine Normal University, taking Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Social Science. The Unit 4 is also divided or subdivided into other parts which my colleagues will also discuss after my turn. Specifically, Chapter 20 was given to me, the Introduction to Southeast Asia and the Malay World. In this discussion, the reference that we used was the book of Sonia M. Zaide and his father Gregorio F. Zaide in their book History of Asian Nation, 8th edition. The photo in this slide, by the way, was the famous tourist destination in Bali, Indonesia. In this photo, we can see the rich cultural heritage that Indonesia has. At makikita nyo naman dyan yung very intricate design of their architecture. So here is the chapter outline of my presentation. First is the introduction of Southeast Asia. Second is the Indonesia, the biggest archipelago and largest Muslim nation. Third is Malaysia, the Malay Federation. And last is Singapore, a city-state. So, what are we waiting for? Let us travel and let's the adventure begin. Before we land to the first Southeast Asian country, let us first discover what really is Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is a sub-region of the continent of Asia to which the Philippines and 10 other countries belong. So ano nga ba yung mga bansang ito? At bago natin yan talakayin, Southeast Asia is a sub-region, sabi ko nga kanina, to which the Philippines belong. Because of the natural wind patterns or trade winds in the region, known to sailors around the world, the trade winds and associated ocean currents help early sailing ships from European and African ports make their journey to the Americas. Likewise, the trade winds also drive sailing vessels from the Americas toward Asia. So dahil sa mga explorers na ito, dahil sa trade wind na ito ay napadpad ang mga explorers na galing sa Europa. Even now, commercial ships use the trade winds or the trades and the current winds to produce hasten their oceanic voyages. History has kept these countries from domination, except from the brief periods of short invitation of any one of the major Asian powers, China, India, and the Arabia. Instead, it was a lot to fall into the domination of each other, which includes the Khmers, the Thais, and Malays, who then was replaced by Western powers who coveted the spices, gold, and colonies of the East. So historically, ang Southeast Asia ay excluded noong hindi pa ito nadidiskubre ng mga European explorers or mga colonialists, ay mayabong ang kultura ng mga Southeast Asians. Aside sa mga European explorers na ito, ay nakikipag-trade ang mga kalapit nating bansa, katulad na lamang ng mga taga Saudi Arabia or doon sa Arabian Peninsula. At ang mga internal conflicts or issues ang mga napag-uusapan dito sa panahon ng wala pang mga Europyo, katulad ng mga kaharian ng mga Khmers, ang races ng Thais at ang mga Malays, kung saan tayo ay kabilang. So, flash in your screen were the 10-member countries of Southeast Asia, including Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, or mas kilala na ngayon na Lao PDR, the Malaysia, Brunei Darussalam, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines, and the Singapore. All of these countries had developed since their independence with colonial powers. Alam nga naman natin na ang mga bansang ito, ang mga Southeast Asian countries na ito, were being colonized by European countries. And after they were being liberated, ay makikita natin yung progressiveness ng kanilang economy at yung pagpapanatili ng kanilang cultural heritage, which means that Southeast Asia is culturally and economically rich. Makikita talaga naman natin yan. So, only Thailand escaped Western colonization, kaya nga natawag silang the land of the free. But the gospel was only accepted in one country, the Philippines. Dito makikita natin na ang Christianity were being accepted only na majority dito sa Philippines. With its majority Christian people and a history of getting along with all its Asian neighbors, the Golden Temple, also known as, ito na makikita natin dito sa screen, yung Wat Arun Temple in Thailand, na dito sa Southeast Asia ay maraming mga religious denominations ang makikita natin, including Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism. Kaya nga dito sa Asia, dito yung cradle of religions. Makikita natin dito sa screen is the Wat Arun, known as the Temple of Dawn. It is a Buddhist temple located in Bangkok, Thailand, on the west bank of the Chao Phraya River. The temple's full name is Wat Arun Ratchawararam Hawirahan. The temple, disclaimer lang sa pronunciation ng location ng Wat Arun. The temple dates back to Ayutthaya or Ayutthaya period, but it was expanded and renovated during the reign of King Rama II in the early 19th century. The temple is considered one of the most important landmarks in Bangkok and is a popular tourist destination. So, flash in your screen is just only one example of how rich Southeast Asia was or is. Na noon pa man hanggang ngayon, makikita natin na mayaman ang Southeast Asia in terms of its cultural heritage. In the graphic photo in my presentation, you can see a man wearing a decorated mask. This is today the Kon. It is considered to be the Thailand's highest form of theatrical arts and one that must be viewed at least once in a lifetime. Ito yung kung mamamasyal kayo sa Thailand ay maaari nyo itong ilagay sa inyong bucket list. Ang Kon is a form of mask theater that depicts the story of Ramakien, a Thai epic based on the Hindu tale of Ramayana. So, in this slide, we can see how Thailand, ito yung i-feature muna natin na bansa, kasi makikita natin dito na only Thailand escaped Western colonization, and that should the Southeast Asia be proud of. Instead, it was their lot to fall into the domination of others, na hindi lang aside sa mga European colonies na ito, ay merong mga na-encounter rin ang mga bansang ito inside their countries na mga issues or conflicts na nakatulong sa kanila to thrive on their own independently. So, here our first part of the discussion is the land and people of Southeast Asia. So, as we all know that Southeast Asia is a sub-region of Asia consisting of the countries which are south of China. Ito na yung vicinal location ng Southeast Asia. South of China, east of India, and north of the continent of Australia and Oceania, kung tawagin natin. It consists of two geographical groups na makikita natin, mapapansin natin na meron tong dalawang main groups kung saan nakaklasify ang mga bansa rito, which includes first is the Asian mainland. Asian mainland includes the Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos PDR, Thailand, Vietnam, and the peninsular Malaysia. Makikita natin dito that Malaysia has two regions, which includes una doon sa peninsular Malaysia or kabilang siya sa Asian mainland. Next region is the archipelagos. In here, we can see Indonesia, the Philippines, na yung bansa natin, makikita naman natin na ang Philippines, as you can see in the map on the screen, that Philippines is also an archipelago located near at the Pacific Ocean. It also includes the insular Malaysia, the Brunei, and Timor-Leste, or commonly known as East Timor. As you can see, yung Brunei, Darussalam, and Malaysia are being located doon sa Borneo. Isa siyang island, malaking island na nakalocate ang Malaysia and Brunei Darussalam. Historically, matatakil natin that Malaysia and Brunei were dati part sa isa't isa, but because of other issues, mga kaganapan sa kanilang bansa, ay nagkaroon ng other independent state na separated na sa Malaysia. These are the informational or trivias regarding Southeast Asia. As the Southeast Asia is about 4 million square kilometers. So makikita natin dito na ang isa sa pinakamalaking bansa dito sa Southeast Asia is the island archipelago of Indonesia. The current population of Indonesia is 281,484,986 as of Thursday, April 26, 2023, according to the population site of Worldometer. More than a fifth of them lived in Java, Indonesia. Ito yung isa sa pinakamalaking island doon sa Indonesia. Ang Java, Indonesia is considered as the most densely populated island in the world, consisting of 127 million individuals or Indonesians. Large numbers of Chinese, Indians, and Arabs also lived here na nag-migrate na or they are born here na. The Malays outnumbered other Southeast Asian races compared to Thais, the Khmers, mga ganyan. So, kaya nga tinatawag na Malay world. Kasi nga ito yung mga dominant race dito sa Southeast Asia, including the Philippines, Malaysia, and the Indonesia. And they are spread out in several countries, including yung sinabi ko, Malaysia, Philippines, to Brunei Darussalam, Timor-Leste, and Southern Thailand, na hindi lang mga Thais ang races dito sa Thailand. Kaya makikita natin dito that Southeast Asia is very diverse. And they all share common ideology about peace, mga ganyan. Another trivia is that Mount Kinabalu in Sabah, Borneo is considered as the highest mountain in Southeast Asia. Dito makikita natin sa Borneo ang isang rainforest na hango rin sa lugar na tawag Borneo Rainforest, which is kapareho rin ng Amazon Rainforest na significant ang relevance into the ecosystem of the world actually. There are tensions between ethnic groups within countries and between countries in Southeast Asian region. As history has shown various wars na makikita natin dito na lamang sa ating bansa way before the colonialists came and during the colonialist occupation. And compared sa other countries here in Southeast Asia, there are also different wars or conflicts that arise throughout the history. The regional and intranational conflicts are in their memories na hindi ito makakalimutan. For example, the Thais had ancient designs on the Strait of Malacca. The Cambodians do not forget the loss of their beloved Angkor civilization. The Indonesians once exerted influence over the Malay Peninsula. And then course of there are the Chinese and Indians and the Japanese who have intruded in their history. So maraming mga outside influences or mga players, global players na mga bansa na nakapag-interact dito sa Southeast Asia and they caused negative impact. But this did not hinder Southeast Asia to thrive na maraming mga civilization and empires na nag-arise rin dito. For example is the Varavati Empire, the Angkor civilization kung saan yang makikita in our screen the Angkor Wat which is considered UNESCO World Heritage and the Majapahit Empire. All of this empire influences the people, the landscape, and the mindset of every individuals in this region. Southeast Asia and borders between countries can be places of refuge for ethnic minorities from other countries. Makikita natin na throughout the history of Southeast Asia, there are conflicts and due to these conflicts, there are different people being misplaced or yung naging mga refugees na napunta sa hindi nila kinalakihang lugar, including the Karens and Hmongs fled Burmese persecution by settling in the Thai highlands. And Vietnamese refugees fled the long war in Indochina or Indochina by both to nearby countries. At maraming mga Vietnamese rin ang lumipat dito sa Philippines during the Vietnam War. Another is the Rohingya refugee noong 2018. The Rohingya refugees fled the cruelties of the junta in Myanmar. Junta is a military occupation. Ito yung ang naglilid is the military government. Only to meet new cruelties on Thailand shores of Thailand sa pag-aakalang makakatakas na sila sa cruelties ng mga junta or the ruling party or the military government, nakikita na rin nila dito na sa paglipat nila sa Thailand doon sa border ay naka-experience rin sila ng discrimination and human rights violation. Here is a video presentation where we can see how the Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar being cleansed or yung tinatawag nating ethnic cleansing. And as our presentation is concerned, I will just share this link video on the latter part of our discussion to maximize the time of our discussion. Next is after we tackle the historical background and the issues related to Southeast Asia and how it affected the people. Ngayon, pumunta naman tayo sa climate which also affected the landscape of Southeast Asia na nagko-continue to thrive and some were being affected by climate change na isang hindrance ng ating modern world, yung climate change na yan. And Southeast Asia different countries also participating on how to mitigate climate change. There are different efforts to mitigate this climate issue. Basically, Southeast Asia has a distinct wet and dry season due to winds and monsoon. So, ibig sabihin, ang Southeast Asia is has a tropical climate, and the largest forest cover in the world after Amazon, as a significant portion of forest cover still remains in Borneo. So, as I had discussed a while ago, that aside from Amazon rainforest, a big chunk of rainforest is also being found here in Southeast Asia, particularly in the Borneo Island or the Borneo rainforest. Makikita natin dito that Southeast Asia has a very rich flora and fauna, considering that 40% of flora and fauna in Southeast Asia could be gone in centuries. Ito naman yung masakit na katotohanan because of the human-induced and the effect of climate change. There is a threat that we can consider as irreversible if this will not be addressed. The loss or the extinction of different species of flora and fauna. So it is crucial for Southeast Asian countries to really find solutions on how to address this. So, shallow waters of Southeast Asia, makikita natin dito yung malapit sa ating, the Marianas Trench, the Challenger Deep, na relatively close to Southeast Asia. At isa lang ito sa mga malalim or shallow regions of Southeast Asia. It contains the highest level of marine biodiversity for the world's marine ecosystem. These shallow waters, kasi nga makikita natin dito that Southeast Asia is being surrounded by the West Philippine Sea and the Pacific Ocean. It is a testament that Southeast Asia is rich in terms of water resources and water organisms na nakaka-affect sa ating environment, sa ating economy because of its tourism potentials. Makikita dito sa screen is an elephant, isang elephant na nakatira sa Southeast Asia na native. Another dyan is by land. Dito naman sa next picture or graphic is the rich and diverse composition of water organisms or fauna in Southeast Asia. Because of the rich corals na makikita natin dito naglulungga or nagpaparami ang iba't ibang mga water organisms. At due to climate change, the threat is very big or gigantic kung tutuusin. In connection with the threats that I already discussed, the burning of forest in Borneo to make way for palm plantations has caused air pollution as far as Hong Kong, Singapore, and Kuala Lumpur. Ganyan layo or kalaki ang naging impact ng burning or deforestation in the Borneo because of yung ikino-convert niya ito into economic zones or yung kinukuha yung rich resources dito na hindi naman nare-replenish, which leads to Southeast Asian Treaty to control it. Maraming mga treatises na mga nailagda na to address this, but the impact of deforestation is also being seen due to its kalaki na makikita natin dito. And due to its unique location between geological plates and of the continental shelf, its marine and seabed resources are considered a major asset yet to be developed. So we can see here the other side of the coin na aside sa kung ipinagkikibit balikat lamang natin yung negative impact nito ay talagang hindi natin mamamaximize ang kanyang potential in a sustainable way. So majority of the locations here in Southeast Asia is still underdeveloped na kailangan pang i-develop in a sustainable manner para maka-abide ito into the agreement being done by different Southeast Asian countries. Ang deforestation ay isa lamang sa mga climate issues na nararanasan ng Southeast Asia, and there are other threats that we can see. Here in the photo, you can see the palm plantation being deforested. Yung mga, or I should say the rich or the original rainforest being deforested due to palm plantation for economic purposes. Next is the Wallace line. There is a distinct difference between the animal species in Southeast Asia and Australia due to their geographic divisions in the Wallace line. Ito yung nagdi-divide sa Southeast Asia, yung mga species na makikita natin sa Southeast Asia and to Australia and Oceania. The line distinctly separates Asian species and Australian species with a small mixed zone in between. For example, the mouse, deer, the peafowl, and wild boar are found only on the Asian side, but kangaroo, platypus, wombat, and koala bear are found in the Australian side of the line only. Dito makikita natin yung differences ng mga species, flora and fauna ng Australia and the Southeast Asia, or the Australian fauna and the Southeast Asian fauna due to their geographic locations. Kaya nga makikita natin yung mga trademark ng ng Australia are majority mga kangaroos, mga platypus, mga koala bear, at makikita natin yan na they are also endangered kasi nga marami, 'di ba? Latest na issue noon yung heat wave na nangyari sa Australia, and it really endangers the lives of these animals. At ganoon rin sa Southeast Asia because of the increasing heat wave, many endangered species already is extinct na kailangan nating i-address. And yan ang Wallace line, yung nagdi-divide sa Southeast Asia. So this Wallace line is oftenly credited kay Alfred Russel Wallace, who was born on 1823 and died on 1913. Yung 1913 is during the World War I, mga sa period na yan. He is a British naturalist who studied the geography of the sea or the Southeast Asia, found that fauna of the Indonesian archipelago differs between two regions in what is now known to be the tectonic plate boundary. So geographically, because of the plate tectonic or the tectonic plate boundary, makikita natin yung distinction between these regions. Next is the natural disasters. As all we know, Southeast Asia really is prone to natural disasters, not only human-induced or man-made. Makikita natin dito because of we are located sa Ring of Fire or yung Pacific Ring of Fire. As you can see in our screen, yan yung red line na yan, diyan yung mga active volcanoes and mostly nag-occur ang mga earthquake. The Southeast Asian region lies on the Ring of Fire of the Pacific and is prone to natural calamities, having many active volcanic and earthquake faults in the two geological plates that meet in the region. Because of the geological material located here in our region, really we are prone to natural disasters. May mga tsunami, kaya marami mga event na nangyari, which includes ito yung mga significant natural disasters na nakapekto sa buhay ng mga Southeast Asians. First is the eruption of Krakatoa in May 1883. The eruption of Krakatoa volcano is a type of inter-island global temperatures is spewed hot rocks as far as the Indian Ocean, rock ships of South Africa and coasts, remors as far as Australia. At yan nga, makikita natin yung the intensity or yung grabing lawak ng nasakop ng smoke ng volcano nang nag-erupt ito. And may nagsasabi na because of this eruption, it really affected the global climate natin na nakaapekto sa ng pangmatagalang epekto sa ating klima. And this natural disaster is hindi yan maiiwasan at ang magagawa natin dyan is to be ready and be prepared on kung ano ang mangyayari, the possibility kung mangyari ito, kung magkakaroon ng earthquake na karamihan sa mga island volcanoes na ito ay nagkukos ng mga earthquakes, tsunamis, ganyan. Another is the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake. In 2004, a whopping 9.0 earthquake under the Indian Ocean sent strong tremors and killer waves with the spread of jetliners to coastal countries, causing tremendous damage to 11 countries. And ito, we should note that over 200,000 individuals died and more than 1 million were left homeless. That is the effect of natural disasters or calamities. This 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake can be considered by some that the most destructive and costly na natural disaster that happened in Southeast Asia. So, kahit na may mga calamities na nangyari, the Southeast Asians are deeply rooted in their religion. So, dito sila humuhugot ng kanilang resiliency and tatag sa buhay kahit na may mga na-encounter, nakaka-experience sila ng mga natural disasters. And these religions are different from other religions sa other regions. Majority of this religion includes the Buddhism. Buddhism is a majority religion in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, or I should say Lao PDR, and Vietnam, which officially communism yung Vietnam, di ba? Alam naman natin na after the Vietnam War, Vietnam turned into a communist country. Dito makikita natin how Buddhism affects life of people dito sa Southeast Asia. In our screen, you can see the serenity or yung pagiging serene ng lugar dyan, and while being in that location, they meditate. Makikita natin dyan ang mga monks na they are religious leaders or influencers dyan sa lugar na yan because they serve as a source of faith or to serve their supernatural being or on how to become spiritual in their own ways. Next, religion, or not totally religion, but it is an ideology or philosophy na nag-originate sa China is the Confucianism by Confucius. Siya yung nagpaalaganap ng kaisipan at filosofiya or ideolohiya tungkol sa Confucianism. It coexists with the religions in Southeast Asian countries with large Chinese population, including Singapore and Vietnam. Aside sa Buddhism na malaki ang mga naniniwala, ay ang Confucianism is also part of the day-to-day lives of the Southeast Asians, including the Singaporeans and the Vietnamese. Di ba sa Singapore ay marami dyan is diverse ang mga people, and marami din ang naniniwala sa Confucianism, and it is naka-embed na sa kanilang legal institutions, at matatakal natin yan sa pag i-discuss na natin si yung isang leader from Singapore na si Lee Kuan Yew. Another significant religion or influential religion in Southeast Asia is the Islam. In the Malay world, Islam predominates the Malay world. In Indonesia, the largest Muslim population in the world, Malaysia, Brunei, and enclaves in southern Philippines, Lanao, and Sulu. So makikita natin dito na way before Christianity dominates Philippines, ay nauna na ang Islam as the primary religion or guiding ideology dito sa Philippines, particularly in the southern region, and it still thrive or survives sa modern day age na ating kinabubuhayan ngayon. At dito makikita natin that Malaysians are majority of them are Islam or Muslims. Makikita na rin natin dyan sa Brunei, kaya nga ang kanilang leader ay isang sultan, na mai-relate din natin sa mga sultan noong unang panahon dito sa Philippines, which shows that Islam really nandito na sila way before Christianity arrived. Another, kung doon sa Europa, sa Latin America, Christianity is the major religion. Here in Southeast Asia, makikita natin that Christianity is a minor religion, or hindi siya yung dominant religion compared dun sa nasabi kong mga other continent. Kwan lang dito lang sa Pilipinas na dominant ito. Christianity in the Philippines and Timor-Leste or East Timor is predominant, specifically in the Roman Catholic population. Ito yung isang nagbibigay ng identity sa Philippines, the dominance of Christianity, specifically the Roman Catholic religion. And many Catholics believes in different saints, mga nagbibigay sa kanila ng paniniwala, the festivals, mga ganyan. As you can see in our screen, yung una is the procession of the Black Nazarene, which happened every January. Tapos dyan naman is sa other side of, or the other picture shows the devotion to Santo Niño. Makikita natin na this influence our modern day lives, na makikita natin na it dates back during the Spanish colonization or Spanish occupation. And these are the religions that dominate Southeast Asia. Ito yung mga significant religions and many other denominations actually, like Hinduism in some parts of Southeast Asia. Because of this religion, the climate, the land, and the people, this really affected the modern day Southeast Asia, which dates back in the past until now, na makikita natin relevant in our lives. Makikita natin dito that Southeast Asia is really a diverse yet unified region in Asia. And that's the end of our first part of the discussion. I hope you learned something, and I wish you would cooperate in sharing ideas in the comment section. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.